With the autumn weather setting in here on the West Coast, it's the perfect time to take a break from riding and focus on some bike maintenance. Today, I'll be working on my 2024 Trek Domane Plus, and I've noticed a few things that need fixing after some recent rides. I bought this bike a couple of months ago and I've already taken it on a couple of century rides. On my last ride from Abbotsford to Mount Baker, I started hearing a creaking sound coming from the bottom bracket area. While it may sound like a loose crankarm issue, I'm almost certain it's actually some loose motor support bolts. Something I noticed after assembling the bike for the first time. So in today's video, I'll walk you through the steps to fix that and share some other tips along the way. Let's dive in.
Get on your bikes and ride!
First, let me show you what I mean by this creaking noise. It's not really noticeable when the bike is on the stand, but I do have a recording from my Mount Baker ride where you can hear it more clearly. Another small issue I'll address is that the motor cover isn't seated properly in the frame. It's a minor thing, but hopefully this will get fixed too. For today's fix, I'll be using two different torque wrenches, a set of Allen bits, some bit adapters, and torque bits, just in case. The first step is removing the left crank arm to access the motor cover. Luckily, these Praxis cranks don't require a crank arm extractor. For this, I'll use the large torque wrench with an 8mm Allen bit. The thread is reversed, so hold the crank arm firmly as you loosen the bolt. Once it's loose enough, you can remove it by hand. One tip, make sure to clean off any grime of the crank arm before reassembling it later. Now, before taking off the motor cover, it's a good idea to wipe it down to remove any dirt or dust. Locate the two Allen bolts securing the cover to the frame and remove them. These bolts aren't typically too tight, so I'll switch to my smaller torque wrench here and finish unscrewing by hand. Once loose, carefully remove the cover. Again, I'll give it a final clean before moving on to the next step. This is the key step. Using the smaller torque wrench again, I'll check and tighten the motor support bolts. This needs to be set to 20 Newton meter. For those wondering, these bolts are 6 mm. Be careful not to over-tighten them, since they screw directly into the bike's frame. As you can see here, one of the bolts was a little loose, but the other is nearly perfect. Next, I'll clean the motor spindle on the left crank arm before reassembling everything. I'll also apply some grease to the motor spindle. I prefer using ParkTool PPL1 grease. I'll leave a link to the product in the description below. A thin layer around the spindle will do the trick. Now let's reinstall the motor cover. It's easier than it looks. No need to force it. The cover will click into place naturally. Just give it a light press with your thumb to ensure everything is seated properly. Finally, I'll reinstall the left crank arm. I'll use the 8mm Allen bit again and tighten it to the recommended torque of 50 Newton meter. Be sure to align the cranks correctly before tightening. To apply this tension, for this step, you may want to put the bike back on its wheels and press the rear brake while you step on the pedal. This part is really straightforward. Start by hand tightening the motor cover bolts to get them into place. Once they are snug, apply a little more tension with your torque wrench. Be careful not to over-tighten, as these bolts don't really endure a lot of stress. A gentle yet firm hand is all that's needed here. And that's it. I took the bike for a ride the next day, and I'm happy to report that the crank noise is completely gone. Thanks a lot for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more bike tips and maintenance tutorials. See you in the next one. Ride safe and take care. Ciao.